immediately.
Rotating now down to Lucky Landing. Booga on the screen. Snazy there as well. First stink bomb coming on through. Doesn't actually wind up connecting with too much. 16 builds in total. Now remember, we do play with siphon settings on. So if you get an elimination, you earn 50 HP. So if you're at 74 total health, you'll gain 26 HP to go to max and 24 shield. Also, when you get the elimination, even if the opponent has 0 materials, they'll still drop 50 of each material type. So there's a lot of, especially early game reward, Dr. Lupo, in securing some of these eliminations.
Now Snazy right now with the top down on his opponent, it looked like he's trying to use the stinks and that proximity grenade launcher just to try and find even one hit. Which at this point with such low ammunition, he's out of stinks now. He still has the 3 proximity grenade launcher shots. He's kind of burning through resources.
I was going to say, he sees those grenades. I was thinking exactly that, yep.
Well, just trying to find a bead at this point. He knows, based on the audio, Bugga is rotating back and forth in this little brick tunnel underneath. No tags quite yet, minus a little bit of HP with the stink earlier. Snazy still has the high ground here. Not a ton of materials, 18 builds. At some point, he's going to have to opt to either push this or rotate away, and now might be the time to rotate away, unless Bugga's going to push from behind. We'll see here. Big up.
Oh, wait, actually,
not even an upgrade. Never mind, he already has a gold combat number 4 slot there. Snazy Bugga separating from each other a little bit, not necessarily pressuring. Early game pressure at game 1 of 6 for the World Cup solos would be could be pretty advantageous to get that siphon. He's looking for a shot, the heavy snipe. Forward goes, and not quite enough. Bugga misses just behind as Snazy sneaks away on the higher floors of that north side building in Lucky.
Yeah, Booga winds up seeing that middle cherry blossom tree get knocked down, and a lot of times in competitive games, players will just hit the trees down to 50 total HP left, but they won't fully remove them from the map because the animation of the tree breaking gives away your position. So if you want to make sure you stay a little bit more hidden in your games at home, only break trees down to 50 total health left and leave them. You'll get a ton of materials, but you'll also still remain as hidden as possible. Benji Fishy, a player with very high expectations for not only himself, but from the community here this weekend. Did play yesterday, I believe placed 14th with his duo, Mr. Savage. The first stink bomb comes on through, and with that damage, it looks like Benji Fishy wants a fight, but unfortunately does take 50 immediately from the back, and will go ahead and just give up his position for the moment.
A little bit of frustration on his face, and I can't blame him. Shots as he's attempting to push a little bit on Nate right there. Pleasant Park still inside the safe zone, so moving away from this doesn't have to happen just yet. We'll see. Nate takes an opportunity, rotates all the way across to that treehouse building, the southwest corner. Meanwhile, southwest of the entire map, Crew not alone down here. A little bit of a build fight back and forth, and they are not inside the zone. 91 players remain right now. Only 9 have gone down. It's early in the game. It's going to stay very, very high in the player count. Crew may be waiting to see if that edit comes through. Doesn't quite. Storm waiting inside. We see this all the time. Just holding the edit inside the pyramid.
Yep.
He doesn't want to step out, potentially get shot. Rotate back down underneath and maybe check his other sides. Meanwhile, King and Wiki in a 1v1. King on the defensive. At this point, he might have the high ground. Oh my gosh! Sneaks the shotgun shot in right before the ramp can go down.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh
okay.
No! And you see King, a little bit of a smirk right there yesterday when we had a little bit of a, maybe I guess you could say trash talk in the game. It was Skeptic who winds up going down to Mongrel Mitro. This time I think King will live to see another fight, but ooh, I like some of this little spiciness to kick off game number 1. He wins that fight with a quick wall retake and edit on through. Over to Neo Tilted, Creo, Hornet, and Clicks, currently within a couple buildings of each other, and you see on your screen on the backside, Lecce, Baw, and Mongrel still there as well.
Flight noise rotating through, looks like on a ball on the backside. Real quick, we'll put the replay up of exactly how that played out. Storm here, stuck inside that box just moments ago. Oh, full send into the air and does catch the shots there. The burst SMG proving useful even midair.
Burst SMG, probably not the exact item that players want, but still making use of it. Uh-oh, it's a corn fight. Dr. Lupo, you're used to this in Nebraska, as right now we've got
like home for me, Jack.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you've got a ton of skill in this one. as we see Rogue Shark currently dropping down the bandage for the moment. Already the ramp goes through, and Rogue Shark just wasn't ready for it. So if you didn't catch what happened right there, Dr. Lupo, quick little breakdown. The campfire was placed, he lost control of his wall, but because he had no pyramid inside his box, the opponent placed a ramp and then edited past the ramp for extra cover. It's one of the fastest but most effective ways to take out an opponent when they're inside their 1-by-1. Left Eye did just get an elimination, does use that shockwave to get away from Erouse, but solid start as well, and I believe I did just see a fan favorite in Vivid in the elimination feed picking up his first elim.
Storm starting to move. We have 56 seconds. My apologies before the next circle closes, and it is a big crunch to the center of the map. You might not be able to see in the bottom right there, but folks, it is just northeast centered from Neo Tilted. Everyone is going to get pushed together into the city. Let's see here. Dubs. Confident play, trying to push from the outside of Flint, knock from his opponent to rotate away, and Dubs does not want to let them go. 46 back-to-back hits, and he can't find a bead on Evil Mare. Goes down out here at the old Greasy Grove Ice Lake.
And you see Evil Mare with still just in total about 80 HP. Got the 50 back for the elimination, so when you calculate it, really only had about 30 health left. So Dubs so close, but not able to connect with that final combat shotgun shot. And Dr. Lupo, look at this inventory for Riverson for Team Liquid. 6 shockwave grenades, 2 minis, 3 chug splashes, a launch pad. Weapon's a little bit awkward, if I'm going to be honest. Just a scoped assault rifle and a epic tactical shotgun. But Storm Surge is coming to play, and Dr. Lupo, we haven't really touched on that yet today. Inform the viewers at home as to exactly what this is.
So Storm Surge is a mechanic to prevent players from potentially sitting and not engaging in fights. If there are a certain number of players at this point, when there's over 70, when the circle closes, people are going to start to take 25 damage every tick. That's every 5 seconds, unless they are over the threshold for the amount of damage done in the lobby. It's a way to encourage players to get engaged in fights without having to force anybody. You can't really just sit still the entire time. You've got to get engaged, get involved with what's going on.
And it ends when we go below that threshold. Exactly. This first threshold, you have to drop below 70 players. So Storm Surge will remain in play right now until 69 players is reached. You see Booga with an elimination, Blaster with one as well. Players above the damage threshold sitting pretty right now, but players who are below it, they're frantically searching for some damage they can do to try to get themselves in a safe spot.
Aqua on your screen, one of the World Cup duo champions from yesterday, just outside of Dusty Divot. Shots inside here, Colorful trying to rotate back away, doesn't want to quite get caught just yet. Those splashes, by the way, one of the best healing items in the game right now in scrimmages and competitive Fortnite. An instant throw 20, and it's HP or shield. It'll transfer across both. May not be able to get this off quite yet. It's got to cancel.
He did.
Oh, he did indeed.
Yep.
Kurtz applying pressure from the side. Not a lot of ammunition right now in the inventory. Only 70 medium rounds for that heavy AR. Not the favorite for a spray weapon. Great at tap fire at a distance, though.
Look at how dead center this zone is in the bottom right of your screen. Mr. Savage did just get an elimination down on him often. Mr. Savage still alive in this one. Looking to bounce back from yesterday. I know Mr. Savage wasn't too happy with the final performance. Kurtz still, we saw the player piece on him. From this Brazil, trying to rep for his family. Class with elimination there as well onto Twins. And Storm Surge is now active for the players still above. So people will begin taking damage, and that's a solid chunk with that common tactical shotgun. But another player begins to throw their name into the hat. Dr. Lupo, Kurtz, no more shield left. We'll back up for the moment.
At this point with the circle where it is, we've got 60 seconds before things start to close, and I would say maybe a third of the field is still outside of the next safe zone. You're going to see a lot of players pushing to Loot Lake. You have to realize, if you're watching at home, if you're here at Arthur Ashe Stadium, competitive Fortnite is very much about late game strategy and positioning. 74 players right now remaining does not surprise us in the slightest, to be honest, especially with how much money is on the line. Harrians goes down. Start picking up that one, but not enough damage dealt. You see the Storm Surge. 2 more players need to get eliminated.
I think he just got up now as players began to drop. So Wakey went down to the Storm. Skype with an elimination onto Astonish. We are 1 player away from the end of Storm Surge, and there it is as we just hit the threshold. So now no more panic has to come through for these players for the moment. The next one will come into play in a couple more zones, as Keenstar right now, the double qualified player from France, currently set on up against Envy's Bucky, as they are within a couple boxes of each other.
Just to see exactly where things move through here. Just want to hold these edits and look out. No reason to apply too much pressure just yet. He's kind of waiting to see other players that may be around him rotating away, and that's exactly the play. Bucky, by the way, a player that we've seen in competitive qualifiers. He actually spent some time talking to Hogman a lot to refine his gameplay and his drop, and we've seen a big improvement since then. Good shout out to Hogman for helping Bucky out with that one all the way here to the World Cup solo finals.
Will he use one of the campfires in the inventory for 25 extra health?
It depends on it depends on the play. If he's looking towards late game, he's going to try and hold on to those for a heal off potentially when that final zone starts to close. We'll have to see. A quick reminder, by the way, on the right side of your screen, a victory royale. The win is worth 10 placement points. Those are big. Top 5 is 7 points. Top 15 is 5. Top 25 is 3 points, and every single elimination for these players is an additional point. We go, the focus of the current map right now. A lot of players out here on the hill. Northeast side of Neo tilted, actually a pretty good spot. You have multiple slips nearby. While those are still on, you have to remember those do turn off. Sky taking shots. I believe that's on DRG just to the south. More pressure applied there. He's trying to sneak any shot he can through. Actually, it's challenged. Surprises me. Doesn't go for the build there to protect and get a better spot.
Wow, that's solid damage, though.
Just go for it.
Solid damage, and look what's also on the ground right there. The legendary infantry rifle. Still can swap to that when needed. Right now, choosing to go with the spray weapons. This is a player that's close. We have a replay coming on in soon of Mega from FaZe, who played yesterday in the duos competition with Dubs. Dubs already dropped his cable. See how Mega plays this one. Gets to the opponent's box. 2 clean shots. And there it comes through, and near max materials, Slurp Juice as well as Chug Splashes will be sitting pretty with the inventory right there. The next zone did just pop on up, moving to kind of the eastern side of the current zone. And what we're seeing right now from Skite is Skite recognizes he's got extra materials back, so he's gonna run back, build out a little bit, grab the excess materials, and continue to tunnel with these mats. He's also juggling items over as well to still have the ability to use these whenever he would like to wish to in these next zones. Here's everyone on the map. A rocket being fired on the far side. Bizzle there still on your screen. Commandment, Epic Whale. Prisionero still boxed up in metal just outside the zone, and Stompy, who was one of the more dominant European players in the online qualifier, still in this one, but Zate was in the lead with Sap yesterday, 5 of the 6 games, but in the end, not able to close it out. As you see, just continuing to spray, is above the damage threshold. This next threshold in player stock to Lupo, 50. So we're about a minute away before it activates. Bizzle with elimination, though, down on the Stacey.
At this point, too, you have a lot of players. Crunch is going to start to happen. Player count starting to dwindle. The loadout here in Zane's inventory, a single Shadow Bomb going to be used for rotation if he has to. Not quite yet, though. He's already in the next safe zone. That heavy sniper rifle we just saw moments ago, and he'll probably go for it again. He's going to knock out a wall and immediately swap to that legendary AR to try and take shots while the wall is gone, while the player may not be paying attention. This could be the big one right here. Immediate swap, a 69 shield pack, solid crit through the wall. They do box up, but it looks like at that moment he saw the box was being pressured from another player and decided to go for it.
Keep in mind,
here we go.
Keep in mind, no healing for Zate, so you can see just how cautiously he's taking these fights.
Oh yeah.
Also today in solos, there's no longer the threat, Dr. Lupo, of the double heavy sniper. Sure, we've seen solo players try to use it to their advantage by themselves, but it just is not the same effect. Lolboom, bottom right of your screen. Zate, top left of your screen. Both the 2 eliminations so far, and here comes Storm Surge for players pushing on in. Not a threat for Lolboom as he's 409 above, but Karhu did just go down to that Storm Surge, so an unfortunate game number 1 there, and ooh, some free shockwave grenades to pick up. Dr. Lupo will be extremely useful in these rotating zones, and oh man, Lolboom is eating the stink bomb. 50 damage, Dr. Lupo. Terrible, terrible spot to be in for Lolboom.
Well, a solo Irishman qualified for the World Cup here. Gonna have to push on through and try and make his way to the next safe zone. Multiple ballers on the outside. He might be able to grab that one in the water right there if he sees it when he pops out. Have to wait and see. Vivid on your screen. Evil Mare still there as well. Saw him rotating in. Multiple ballers still on the field.
Look at that.
Look at the
Oh
this is like a Fortnite World Cup apartment complex. You have countless players stacked in next to each other. Bizzle going for the edit reset. Can't quite catch himself just yet.
Buga's still making plays happen. A lot of people have him high up on the leaders, and here it is again. Yarkos with the elimination from earlier on, down onto Aqua, who obviously was our Fortnite World Champion yesterday in duos. Rough start in game number 1. Bizzle, one of the most consistent and winningest Fortnite pro players of all time, Dr. Lupo. When you say a veteran in Fortnite competitive, Bizzle is at the top of that list, but here's Yarkos again, now on the high ground after that first elimination down onto Aqua, looking for more right now as he's got ultimate high.
This is one of the best spots in the game right now. We'll have to see where the map is going to rotate in north-northwest, so he's going to have to make a move soon. A very hefty weapon loadout. Not a whole ton of rotation. Does have the 2 launch pads, does have the redeploy, but those are going to leave you exposed up in the air. Put a look back, King. Making rotation here. The feed starting to light up. 38 players.
Oh, yeah.
And that count is going to go down, down, down. Zate eliminated by Left Eye. Colorful taking up another one out as well. King, 4 eliminations. You have to remember, placement points don't kick in until top 25, so he only has those 4. But those are 4 very, very big points. Here we go, the Storm starting to pressure players. You're going to see a lot of launch pads and redeploys coming to play, and those community movement mechanics like launch pads placed on the ground could be tough. A player actually just flew right through King's box.
That could have been bad, Dr. Lupo. That could have been real bad.
Maybe a trap play from either player. We'll have to see here. Benji fishing the feed, taking another elimination. Top 35 now. Jacks, we're coming 30 seconds away from the next circle.
And Mr. Savage trying to contest Rux for height as they both continue to build on up. Mr. Savage goes for the shot. Rux gives it up for the moment. So game 1 right now, the height goes to Mr. Savage, but there's still a ton of time left on the low ground right now. You've got Pika week, Class week, Fledermoy's week, Tuesday week as well. Mr. Savage has shot down Rux for the moment. He still continues to keep height. Yarkos, though, looking to challenge right now. 27 players left. Placement points about to come into play.
Yarkos takes the ultimate high in the backside there. Riverson from Team Liquid flying across right to left of your screen. Multiple players. Ultimate low ground warriors down there, both in and out of ballers. Class looks like he might be going for a campfire in the middle of it. Mr. Savage.
King at 7 limbs, and it's made it into placements. King absolutely the #1 performance so far in game 1. 120 in total HP. Can he find his limb? No! As the crowd erupts. Top 20 now, though, but King got the job done. There was 27 players left, Dr. Lupo. King eliminates the last 2 to make it a top 25 with the placement points.
Huge plays there. Waylon Kurtz going down to the feed. What a shot and a quick edit swap there. Ruga showing why he's one of the most active.
Top 15.
Top 15. Meg with a elim. Your feed in the top left. One of the most important things to watch if you're looking for players' names. Here he's going to have to wait and bait players out. Movement now. Here it is. The Shadow Bomb for rotation. He's still got 2 more in his inventory, which this late in the game is huge. He does have 3 Shockwave grenades as well, in case height needs to be taken, or even a long-range rotation. 8 players remaining. Jack Yarkos, 4 eliminations. Everyone in here getting those placement points. Beam from above. It goes down. No builds. Going to be tough there. Saw him picking up that elim. Buga, though, 5 right now moving forward.
But not only that, 2 Shadow Bombs left, still with Shockwave grenades too. The #1 point we've seen in competitive Fortnite this weekend, when do you use the Shockwave to go for height? It's Sam currently on height. Buga sees that. That was him taking a look for exactly where the player is. I think it's time, Dr. Lupo. No, Shadow Bomb will be used. Okay, so not quite doing it yet.
Looking for a high ground.
Yeah, I was looking to see.
He's saving those. Don't you worry. I guarantee before too long, a player like this is going to make plays. Sitting the edge of the Storm, the box up. He's going for edit shots. Big hit.
My gosh.
On the outside. Buga picking up his 6th elimination. Creo, Rux, Buga all on the low ground. Bella EU.
One player to Shockwave the height. It's still Sam up top.
Still got it. Same floor as Creole. 1v1 up top, 1v1 on the bottom, stuck in the box. Big hits, back-to-back shots. Buga picking up another elimination.
Buga is insane
now. Almost going to be his game to win. We'll see here another one. Can he find the 9th elimination and the first victory royale, the World Cup solos?
Dr. Lupo, it might be time soon. It might be time soon. Booga smiling. He's got the health advantage on Creo.
Does.
Folks, it might be time for the Shockwave play. Booga could soar up into the sky. Go for it. Here it is. Shockwave died. Shots coming in. No elimination yet for the first game victory royale.
Oh my gosh. Confident play from Booga. What a monster. The first victory royale.
The crowd on their feet. Booga, calm, cool, and collected, wipes out 5 of the last top 6 players for the victory royale. What a swing of points right there, Dr. Lupo. You get the win. You get max placement points. 9 elims too. Folks, that is a statement game number 1 for Booga. And here it is again. The Shockwave up. Creo tried to prepare. You see the damage coming on through, but at that point, with that much of a health advantage, Creo stands no shot. What a brilliant ending. Talk about a great late game. Solos absolutely living up to the hype of the duo competition yesterday.
Imagine being in the World Cup Finals, and instead of opting for a safe, stay down the bottom, wait, bait your shots, you throw a Shockwave down and you ascend to the high ground, take over, and get the victory royale.
Much deserved game 1 victory right there. The number one thing I noticed from Booga, in the shadow bombs, so many people worry so much about popping out of the shadow and immediately boxing and protecting themselves. Instead, Booga winds up pushing forward, looking for where his next victim could be, and then pops out of the shadow and eliminates the player. It happened 3 times right there, and it was big reasons why he was able to push on through. Booga, an incredible performance. What is that, 19 points in game number 1?
Game number 1.
I don't see how anyone's above that.
At this point, we're going to take a look exactly to see where
like I predicted it.
That falls on the leaderboards. No surprise here, a 9-point lead out of game 1. King, 7 eliminations. We saw that earlier. Sadly, goes down a little bit before those top couple placements. Psalm, Rux, Yarkos, ton of top-tier players across the board right now. But a 9-point lead after game 1 is absolutely incredible.
And you look at the leaderboard right now, a big talk of yesterday, EU versus NA. EU, why so quiet earlier in the day? NA, why so quiet at the end of the day? 8 of the 10 top players after game 1, all from the US. Here's your 11th through 20th place right now. Benji Fishy on there, Evil Mare on there as well. But a fantastic start to today, and I'm loving the energy from this crowd at the first ever Fortnite World Cup. They saw how good the competition was yesterday, and I know everyone was so excited to kick it off today with millions watching online. They saw Booga take game number 1. He's down on the floor with Jordan Fisher.
Booga! Huge first game for the NA player. That's what you want to see. You want a health advantage at the end. 9 elims to cap off an incredible first game. What is your thought process going into the final moments of in-game, right? A 1v1 there at the end, you've got health advantage. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm pretty much low ground. I have like 200 mats, and I realized that I could probably make a play with the impulse, just go for A and just like get a big pump on him.
Amazing. Well, we saw that happen in real time. An amazing clutch for an end of a first game for Booga. Yo, Jack, Lupo, that is exactly what you want to see, is it not?
I mean, I don't think you can really ask for much more than that. A victory royale and 9 elims. The man is so talented, has always been one of the top solo players in the North American region, and he shows it right there in game 1, and already a 9-point lead. Solid stuff.
What an incredible game out of the gate already. Number 1 down. We have 5 left to go. We want to take a look and see exactly how some of those pieces played out, how everything worked, and maybe a little bit of a deep dive into how some of these players play. So we're going to throw it over to Sundown, Unreal Island, to take a look.
Thank you so much, Lupo and Courage. And while Bugha was able to dominate the rest of the lobby, I want to take a look at one of the other most marquee and aggressive players we saw. He had the entire lobby saying, Toda salve al rey de Argentina. It is king of 9Z with an incredible 70 elimination run in 20th place. Let's take a look at some of this gameplay. So right away, you'll notice, what is he doing? He's his patented going forward, wall replace on land 123. That's going to be the theme of these clips. He doesn't miss his shots, and he's not afraid to flex either. Throwing the donkey laugh out there, throwing him a little love, saying, I don't care who you are. Now he's sitting on the 4 elims. He's in the box fights, and he's constantly looking to pick up new targets. Replaces the wall from the side, turns around, and picks up a great elimination there onto Bucky in the rotation. But now watch on the sprees on. 5 elims right now. Cones himself off. Look at this. The player challenges him. He's not building. He's going at him. He says, if you want to fight me, I shoot first. I am the king. Was able to go, but unfortunately gets caught there in the rotation, but still a brilliant performance from the young Argentinian. He's looking to challenge. He's looking to frag out with the best of the best, putting himself currently sitting in the #2 spot. He has played so absurdly well in that first game. This is what it's all about. If you can bring your aggression, what you do in the qualifiers, and take it to this stage, and you don't have nerves. If you're like Bugha and say, I'm gonna go. If you're like King and say, you wanna edit, I'll shoot first. I'll take the 50 health on Elim there, and I will take the point in staying in the match. You can wait and watch me dominate. Let's get into match 2, because that first match was insane. Courage and Lupo, take it away, guys.
Sundown, thank you so much. Appreciate the quick analysis of everything that happened in the middle of that game. A lot of action here at the Fortnite World Cup solo competition. This is the last day for the entire event as well. I hope everyone has enjoyed Marshmallow's concert. We have tons of people here in the crowd.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's just been ridiculous, so much fun.
My Italian family was out there, 25 people deep. They've got a full deli layout. Unfortunately, my Aunt Lorraine down in Florida, I know you're watching. Shout out, we love you, miss you. But no, they're all here for their first ever event too. It is an incredible energy in here. And you know, guys in the venue, do you guys want to see another Fortnite World Cup next year? Should we do this again?
I'm thinking, yeah, Joe.
All right, budget's approved, Epic, it's happening. But folks, let's get back into the action. Game number 2 about to begin. Bugha, the superstar of Game 1, the talk on all social media with the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What a play. The lobby is ready. The players are ready. Ladies and gentlemen in the venue, are you ready? Game 2 of the solos competition here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals starts right now.
After last game, I have a feeling you're going to see maybe potentially more contested drops, and players vying for those points, seeing exactly what can be done now. Bugha bringing home 9 eliminations in that first game. I think the next 2 closest were 7-4, and then everybody was below that. The Arcos, I think, having 4, King with 7. Going into game 2, knowing that we still have 5 remaining, knowing that based on the leaderboards from yesterday, that 17 points at one point separated first and last. And by the way, a quick note, we can see the mini-map, but I think Tfue, yeah, there it is.
There it is.
I'm pretty sure Tfue has the block all by himself. Again, Clipnote didn't want to challenge it this time.
No one nearby at all, and also on that map, look at the 2 llamas. Right outside a racetrack. It looks like one player's about to go claim him. Also, Bizzle, who basically lands in Dusty Divot uncontested, I believe already got a llama in this one. So some great movement will be up there for them. Here again, the stats for last match. First place, the Victory Royale, 19 total points because of those 9 elims. Sitting pretty, 5 games away from $3 million.
I have to say, I feel like after one game, seeing an average placement stat of first, that's something I would screenshot just to hold on to. Yeah,
best player in the world.
I averaged first through all the games that have been played.
Here is Aqua versus Twins Aqua, as we can't stress enough, our Fortnite World Champion from yesterday in duos. Only with a common SMG is Twins, and Pumps being missed left and right from Aqua. And I'm going to tell you right now, Aqua's going to be upset with himself on that one, Dr. Lupo. That was a sloppy fight from both sides. I'm going to say it right now. Those early game fights can be very, very awkward, but we also have the first elimination what we saw earlier.
Gosh.
And it was Bizzle with the common pistol and then says, here's your reward. A llama that was looking at a nice view from the top of Dusty Divot.
Kovacs out of his mind. By the way, a quick note here. Twins had 46 elims in his qualifying matches. That's so many eliminations to get to this point.
Yeah.
Over 10 games, that's
Insane.
huge.
And most players didn't even get to play the full 10, so you got to think Twins did pop off in his region when it was going on
right
through.
there.
Yep.
2 shadow bombs. Already has a flint knock sitting on minis and a pump. Solid early game loadout. Can pick up maybe one more movement ability, depending on whether or not he wants to keep the flint knock in his inventory. We'll have to see. Still hopefully looking for a slurp at some point. MQ and Mr. Savage not far from each other. Takamura, Clarity G also in Happy Hamlet. My least favorite drop, I'm going to be honest with you, but a lot of these players know exactly where the chests are and know exactly how to get there as fast as they can. And there are so many materials down here. This also is one of the highest chest spawn counts in the entire game. This POI is insane.
Yeah, I believe 29 possible chests or something along those lines. But as MQ says, you know what? Let me roll away for right now. Give that to Mr. Savage. Over to Snobby Shores. It's Hornet putting the spray down with that heavy assault rifle. Only 19 AR shots left, Dr. Lupo. So we'll have to use them wisely here. 8 players have dropped so far in the zone. More of a southwestern side zone on this one. So already some good variation between the zones in game 1 and game 2. Hornet will continue to move slowly but surely over to Nyx. So again, looking at the map, looks like a lot of players still outside the zone as you'd expect, but they'll begin to rotate on through as the first storm will close.
Going plenty of time to make decisions. Force engagement there. The tree disappears, and that drum shotgun spewing shells out. Going to push inside the box. Can't quite get the wall if the trap was placed. No luck there. Doesn't have one in the inventory. Nyx still trying to apply as much pressure as possible without having to chew through too many rounds. Reload here. The drum shotgun. So much damage dealt with this thing so far. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes in for it here in just a second, and he does. Watching that corner, Hornet still on the defensive. Long-range spray from a drum shotgun isn't enough, but up close, the thing is very, very deadly. Nyx picking up first elimination for him in this game.
Also with the emote after the eliminations. That's 2 so far. This is spicy.
Jack, you love
I mean, I love this.
You love it.
I get like 1 limit for every 3 games. So every time I have the option to vote on an opponent, it's fantastic.
A very important note there. Nyx had the most eliminations in the online opens at 61 during his qualifying week. That's crazy too. And Nyx from Brazil. We often saw very aggressive gameplay from those players during their qualifying matches.
All they would do was kind of just stomp through their lobbies. We always talked about how insane it was. Here's the inventory for Tfue right now. 4 minis, 3 big shields.
Good lord.
4 shadow bombs.
Good lord.
A launch pad, a legendary infantry rifle, a blue pump shotgun. Tfue set up for the rest of this game, nearing max materials as well. This is what happens when you give this man block all by himself.
Nobody wants to challenge here, but it's one of the best loot spots in the game. Gobab's over on the right side of your screen, going to try and take that southeast corner building, see if there's anything left inside. But there's so much loot here at the block, so many materials, so many opportunities to get an advantageous position too, because you're right up the hill. Like I said before, this baller spawns up there. Those are going to get grabbed pretty quick, but if they don't, if you're lucky enough, you have free rotation as well. It's also not terribly far from a slipstream to the south, just past the umbrella quarry down there. Meanwhile, Mr. Savage stuck in a 1v1 down here at Happy Hamlet. There's actually 3 players total. My apologies. You see on the mini-map in the bottom right there. They can't see those arrows, but we definitely can. And Crew and Takamura still down inside in the building. And audio cues trying to listen for each other. Takamura, you see, not really moving. Crew trying to do some wall replacing to build up a little bit of a material buffer in case fighting does happen here. I think Mr. Savage going to rotate out.
Here is Tfue with the player just in front. Looks like a fight he's potentially looking to take. Not sure exactly what the health is of the opponent just ahead, but you got to think, okay, so there is a health advantage. Maybe Tfue did a bit of damage as Kluja will begin to heal on up. So it does look like Tfue damaged the player, thought about challenging, but for right now, we'll just box for a moment. They are very, very soon going to have to move towards the zone.
If you're watching online and you get an opportunity here to clip some shots from Tfue, it's going to be very accurate. We've seen it before, and we'll see him again with that infantry rifle. one of the best in the game.
That was kind of greedy from Tfue. He has a ton of materials. I think he didn't expect his opponent to challenge and go for a shot, but because he tries to save a couple walls of wood, has to pop one of those big shields, and Kluja says, you know what? I'm out of here, and the zone's already there, so Tfue has a long trek ahead of him. Might have to decide if he's going to use a launch pad here. Probably not, as he does have the slipstreams down below, but still will take some damage from this storm.
If there is a rift spawn up at the burger, he can take the zip across, jump off midway through, and go down and grab it. We'll see.
Booga eliminated to start off this game in 90th place. So our game 1 winner out early on, which means that that 9-point lead will surely be cut down as this one goes on. Quick thing I want to remind everyone of, yesterday we were nearing the #1 trend in the world on Twitter. I'm going to challenge all of you right now. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup across everywhere. Send in how you're watching today. Let me know who you think's going to win. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup everywhere from the millions of you all tuning on in. Can't stress that enough. Let everyone know that the largest event, one of the largest events of all time, concludes today with a $30 million prize pot in total throughout the weekend.
Keemstar holding an edit here. Stuck in a little stalemate. He's going to hold that side, look for the shot. Can't quite find it. Player backs out of that. Not fast enough to get it.
Mr. Savage goes down to Mega.
Big names eliminated early in this game 2, the World Cup solos. Keemstar holding this edit yet again, just trying to wait and watch to see if he's going to spot this player and make a move. This might be an opportunity to make a play here. Twins kind of baiting the ultimate high ground here. Quick little resets, can go for a wall replace. Does get it. Pressure applied, gonna jump up. He built the ramp preemptively to defend against any shots. Here it is, a shot from the side does make contact. Twins down to 90 total HP. Big hit there with the shot. He can try and rotate up on the outside, getting pressured against the edge of the storm, and a build-off is kind of the only answer at this point. Quick, and it's down. Doesn't quite find that the player inside ahead of him has the lead. Another big hit, 14 HP left for Twins. A build fight is all he's got left. He could shadow and try and get away, but if the player inside is smart enough, Keemstar knows exactly where to shoot. Twins is going to go down. We'll see here. One pump is all it takes, though, with this thing. 150 HP.
Oh my gosh.
Almost going down there. No shield remaining. A back and forth between these two titans of Fortnite. And there it is. Keemstar finding the lead with the shotty there, and Twins eliminated.
Move towards Storm Surge kicking on in. I do want to point out where this next zone is. Spoke to production. We'll bring that back in for you all to see just how insane zone number 2 will be for everyone on this map.
Actually, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because they have a long, long run ahead. Look at that.
All
a
the
third
way
of the
to
zone
south side.
Off the map.
Not only are you forced all the way to the bottom of the map, you've got nothing on the south end of the safe zone. The player's going to get compressed together. I would expect going into circle 3 or 4, you're going to see a very low player count in comparison to last game. We're already down to 75. And Storm Surge now getting ready to kick in. You have 5 players that need to go down before damage starts to go out to those that have not dealt enough of it.
Yep.
Multiple players bunkering up here at Happy Hamlet. Not a whole lot of real estate left. Shots going out there. You heard that minigun, one of the very good weapon for applying pressure to structures, especially when you see other players are taking shots at the same target. Edit fight at the top left of your screen there. Replay between Niddle, opponent inside the box. Caught above, but headed down. Quite long the first shot. Follows through with a second, third, fourth, and the elimination.
He had 1 health left. If you looked after the 50 health was earned, he was stuck at 50, meaning he was under 1 HP. He had effectively 0.9% health and goes down right there. His opponent can't win the fight as he's rewarded. Nakamura on your screen, 179 total HP, and that's a tough battle you have here, Dr. Lupo. Do you use your last healing item in the big shield for only 21, or do you hope maybe 179 health is enough for the next fight? It's a double-edged sword, a tough decision to make. Storm Surge still active. 4 more players need to go down before it ends.
Trying to get the wall there, can't quite find it. Quick edit up and out.
Solid
Gonna make the rotation away. Waiting. This is just an opportunity. He's basically trying to bait to see if the player inside is gonna head out. Shockwave, Lecce hits the tree. Might cost him. Pressure being applied now. The 1v1 not over quite yet. Combat shotgun from above right here will be very effective. The spread from a top-down position like this is like a guaranteed crit. Here we go. Shot from behind, can't quite make contact yet.
Zone now hitting for 2 as well.
Player's gonna have to go for it very soon. Here we go. Another shockwave to push away. Storm Surge is active, he's way above, and those bandages are gonna be key to survival. We'll see. I guess the swap in position, but she took the high ground temporarily here.
They're at a point now where they basically just,
have to
one of
fight
them
back.
needs to get in a fight. One of them needs to win this fight if they want to survive for the 50 extra health. Lecce slowly taking this damage, 2 ticks every second, and it's going quick. Dr. Lupo now down to just 12 HP. This could be done here momentarily. Good shot, no! Moffin wins it with the quick shotgun to the dome, and you see, using 4 bandages, the 50 health puts him back up to 100. It should be enough to move on in. Storm Surge now over as well, and the next zone just popped up, and it's even more southwest. Tfue still alive in this game. So far, 0 eliminations, still though with this magnificent inventory for the late game.
I just want to say that the bait outside in the storm, forcing your opponent to take damage knowing that they're not healing for their own HP, basically a way of weakening them, and then you choose the time to engage, means you don't even have to be as active as before. That shotgun, Tfue take a couple shots, and that player on rotation with the Shadow Bomb, a little more difficult to see them since they're basically invisible. They are a shadow.
Yeah.
Oh, they move. Oh, is that why they call it a Shadow Bomb, Jack?
Not entirely sure yet, as I'm still figuring that out. Tfue not safe in the next zone. Is he going to use Launchpad? He's going to try to use whatever his opponent places down right here. Oh,
no damage being applied. Maybe an attempt to try and bait. Doesn't put down that launch pad. Here we go. Thought for a second he might go for the zip. Chooses not to. Flying past multiple players in.
Shadow Bomb
move. And here we go. Shots from the backside. Pressure being applied on Tfue, and he's going to have to box up for just a second. There it is. Shadow Bomb and door edit. He'll make a move on the outside. He is in the shadow form still, and you can keep this by jumping against the wall.
That was not a good Shadow Bomb, I can tell you right now.
Gotta be disappointed there. Big hit from above, down to 55 HP. Tfue, the edit from the outside, and he is eliminated by King.
And look who it is again. King, the player with 7 eliminations in game number 1, keeps the aggression going. In game 2, the heavy sniper that immediately destroys that wall and is rewarded with incredible loot, almost max builds as well. Tfue, a very quiet start to today's World Cup competition.
Here's that elimination on Tfue. Shot from above. A little bit of shield damage, but a big hit from the outside. Using a heavy snipe to take that wall almost instantly. Very intelligent play there. Again, more aggressive players we've seen thus far.
Yep, and it's working out up to this point.
Oh my gosh, this is back down at Happy Hamlet, right on the edge. So many players on the east side of the safe zone, and this is a far southwest. Remember, about a third of it is in the water right now. Nobody's on the island, the outside. We're going to see where this goes next. There it is, focused just to the west. That submarine atop the ice mountain right there.
But look at how many players are stacked on the right side of that zone. So if you're currently in this next zone, on that north or east side, you can put a ton of damage downrange as everyone has to move right at you. You see Karu does go down to Diego GB in your elimination feed. Drop coming on through. Crew boxed up, Creo boxed up. Rux under 100 health, has to play this one safely, but they are so far on the east side of the zone. The storm is going to move quite quick, Ben. They've got to be ready for it. There's already the first shockwave used. Rux trying to shoot them from behind. Not able to get elimination there. Class so far away. Will use the launch pad and just begin to move toward this circle.
Have to think at this point with both placement and elimination before too long here. King maybe taking an opportunity to push into the first place position on the leaderboards, especially with Bugha going down so early in this game, 90th place.
I love this outfit from Rux right now.
He's a dinosaur.
Rux is, no, I'm talking about his real life outfit.
He's a dinosaur.
He's set up to play in the Fortnite World Cup at 1, and then he's got a dinner date at 7:30. So good for him.
With some classes, everything, Jack.
I mean, the guy looks great. I'm going to give a shout out for that. Best dressed, 2 extra points. A Fortnite World Cup champion right there, Rux. But
only a 6 damage tag from the side there. Didn't have to panic too much. That I would panic a little more about.
When you have no movement. When you have no movement in that part of the zone, it's literally exactly what I just spoke about. King on your screen, but also someone we haven't spoken a lot about, Reverse 2K. Duo with Ninja. able to qualify together for this competition, but did make it into solos, and now seeing what he can do by himself. Was on the far side of this zone, so also not a fun spot by any means.
Quick note, King currently has the highest damage in the match, 574, meaning, like I said, that aggressive gameplay. Still in it, still trying to win, still trying to get the beat on players, and a quick beam on Aspect up the ramp, caught off guard by an edit play. A shot through the wall, gets the follow through with the edit. Nate goes down. He is playing out of his mind right now.
King reminds me of like Vinny and Zextro back from the earlier duo competitions when they would just try to fight anyone they saw. King, 7 eliminations in game 1, now 4 eliminations in game number 2, and there's still 42 players remaining. And there is only one person in the next zone that just popped up, Dr. Lupo. It is as far west as possible, and look at those arrows frantically moving on over as everyone knows prime real estate is available. This is one of the most insane zones I've seen. Look at, no one's in it, no one's in it.
Quick couple notes about King, one of our players from Argentina. He is the minimum age required in order to play the Fortnite World Cup. A 13-year-old savant.
Wait, King is 13?
He is indeed.
My goodness.
Jack is 11 million times better than both of us combined.
Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous to think about. Cosmic on the height. Vivid is still alive in this game. Artfrom is still alive in this game. Draken's still alive in this game. What does King use here? Looks like will again place the launch pad, and what you saw right there, a ramp placed backwards to bounce off of it so he doesn't go all the way up and basically a sitting duck up in the air. Kind of flows quite quickly towards the opposing player. King, imagine winning $3 million as a 13-year-old. I mean, I think I would have bought like a Razor scooter when I was that age.
Probably.
And enough ice cream to, well, don't really know where I was going with that one, but to be honest, it's a lot of ice cream.
Surprised that food's the topic here. The push through the air. King getting aggressive into the next safe zone. Here we go. Going to have to hold a wall for just a moment. A little drop down. I like this repositioning. He doesn't want to remain in the same elevation. He's got multiple floors now in case he needs to take a drop there. Yarkos gets beamed from the side. Limited by Scalar. Arkham in the feed, pick it up, and Elam on Bella EU. Dubs, Bucky, multiple players still in this game on your screen. Clicks taking out Cease in the feed.
29 players left is the big thing to note. Four more from placement points, which if you make it the top 25, instantly 3 points earned. That is on the mind of every player still remaining, and the zone's still moving west now.
Shots through. Minigun, a quick swap there, picks the shotty back up. Interesting little play on the fly there from Zell. Trying to do just enough damage to the wall. Here we go. Shockwave. Going to look for optimal placement. Maybe a little bit of time to disrupt the Shockwave into a Shadow Bomb. 9,000 IQ.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Get all the way across the map and take as high on the mountain as possible. Very excellent play there for positioning the King, the star of the show thus far for game 2. 5 eliminations. We are in the top 25 for placement now, so those points go out. That's got to push King even higher on the board.
Yeah, King was already surging towards the top of our leaderboards. Now could very well be after this game. King spraying on through with the submachine gun. Players moving as fast as they can over this mountain. The left side of your screen, now the full screen. Mku still moving through. Look at how fast he can tunnel. Benji Fishy still alive in this game, just took down Drakens. Down the hill we go. Rogue Shark on height right now, but we'll need to waterfall down for a moment. Vivid still followed on up. King down to just 40, 30, 20, 15 HP, under 10. No, still 17 HP. Will only be at 42 effective health. I mean, if he gets any further than this, it'll be an absolute miracle. No, down goes King, but I think one of the crowd favorites beginning to emerge today. Fantastic performance at this point. Benji Fishy goes down as well.
A little bit of a crowd building up behind him. Dubs still in, a baller at the bottom.
Top 15.
Star sitting on 2 eliminations in this. The entire field is at the bottom of your screen on the left with Rogue Shark remaining up top, forced into the drop. Let's get away. Looks like a Shadow Bomb to save from any fall damage. Vivid beamed on the rotation up to the ultimate high ground.
Vivid's on height.
Still there too.
Vivid's on height.
It's an opportunity here. It can capitalize and take shots on all these players rotating. At this point, Vivid's best bet is to force players out of ballers into fights. You don't want to let them remain inside and safe. If you pop them out, it may be an exposed position. Other players will take shots, and that's going to get you in a better place.
Look at the ballers. The ballers beginning to scale the mountain. Vivid, I think, still has high ground. Has time to pop a mini by chance? Nope, nothing as of yet. Now the fight for height begins. Vivid building out of Arkham in your elimination feed, now into our top 10. Issa, the controller god as many regard him as, takes down Sam. Another one onto Thatch too, so Issa from Europe getting involved in this game as well. Vivid and Rogue Shark all the way on high ground. Still multiple ballers in play. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. This is game 2 of 6, and oh no! Vivid has lost the high ground, but he says no! This is mine, young man! And takes it right back. No mats! No mats! No life! Vivid is out of this game. But he got the limb. He got the limb on the Rogue Shark.
Issa 2 eliminations, sitting in the middle of the pack right now. 7 players remaining. The end of game 2 right before your eyes, folks. 120 total HP. He can't spend any time out of the zone right now. Player goes down inside the box. Can't quite get in. One right behind outside. Can't find a beat. Issa goes down, placed in 4th. A 1v1. Dubs, the ultimate high ground. The crowd cheering behind him, looking to see if he can capitalize on this advantageous position.
Down low, it's Dubs versus Skite.
A little bit of a build-off between the two, layering defensively against each other, but Dubs,
no builds.
One build. The flint knock to save him on the drop might be the play, just outside ahead of the build. Maybe can catch himself.
Oh my gosh, is he
around inside the storm. This might be it. Shockwave into the flint knock, into the safe zone, doubling back, another one, a valiant effort. He's got to find a bead, but he won't be able to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2 goes to Skite.
Skite had 27 health left, 8 HP. If he took one hit from the storm, he was dead, but he clutches on up. We heard in the interview earlier, he said, I'm gonna play my game, win, do what I do best, and Skite does it there. Dubs, what a valiant effort. Look at that. Look at Skite's HP. Literally one storm tick would have been enough, but Dubs had no mats left and unfortunately didn't wind up making it up that mountain. Skite just wins, and there you see the celebration. Game 2.